When I was growing up, on the radio, the only music that you can ever hear is top 40 pop music. I mean, even into my 20s, so I'm dating myself. But that has really changed, and dance music. I mean, everything's going so mainstream, and I'm just wondering, artistically speaking, I mean, is that something? I mean, is that a good thing? I mean, does that hurt? Does that help? I mean, it sells records, right? But
I have a little bit of a mixed feeling about it. On the one hand, I love the fact that dance music was ours. It was our little baby, and it was for these 200-300 people or 2,000-3,000 people that were going to clubs, and now it's this massive thing. I do see a big upside to it, though. I mean, there's a lot of people bashing the fact that some of the music is mainstream on the radio right now, but I think if you look on the upside of it, if you go to a massive festival like TomorrowWorld, you see the main stage and you see all the big acts there, but I think also on the side stages, there's this new sound that's booming. And because the mainstream is doing so well, in the slipstream of that, all the other sounds and genres are exploding. I think that's the reason why Deep House is now so popular, because that was one of the sounds that used to be in those little tents next to the main stage. And right now, it's the main stage sound. It's becoming a main stage sound as well, next to all the other sounds that we have, of course. So I think that's a positive side of it. The good thing about music is, and I keep stressing this to people, the good thing about music is that there's an off switch on your radio, or if you're listening to Spotify or Apple Music, whatever, you could just go to another track. You don't have to listen to music. So,
well, my switch is always on, so I love it. I love it. So as far as collaborations go, I mean, how do they happen or occur for you? I mean, are they organic? I mean, do you call someone up, or they find you? It's a little bit of both.
Sometimes you meet somebody just random at an award show or at a club or at a festival. Sometimes you know somebody through somebody else. I have a big team in my office who actively A&R, and what that means is that they try to get me in touch with vocalists, singers, writers, producers, and all that sort of stuff. So, coming to think of it, I mean, I'm releasing my 6th studio album October 29th, and I've never did a track on the exact same way. For me, what I love about my job is the fact that every track that I've ever done in my life came about in a completely different way. And it's really extreme. If you think about the fact that This Is What It Feels Like took a year to finish, not a year in production time, but we had the piano riff, and then we wanted to alter stuff, and then we wanted to re-record the vocal, and we weren't too sure about the lyrics, and we went back and forth, and I had to go to Vancouver to work with Trevor, and blah, 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 blah. So, that's a very organic process. So from the idea to the finished track was a year. But then Ping Pong, another track that I made in 4 hours, from the idea to the finished product. So that's what I love about making music. It's very organic. It's very, creative.
That's how artists work. I mean, whether it's a painter or sculptor in music, I mean, I think that's just how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, what you do have to do is open yourself to the possibilities. It's like what John Lennon said, life's what's happening to you when you're busy making other plans. And he's so right, You plan to make a track such and such with this and this artist, and you end up making a track with a completely different artist that was just there and you vibed with, and that became the main artist. So I think as an artist or as a producer, it's very important that you stay open to all the ideas that people bring in, or your own ideas that you have when you work on your DAW, or melodies that come in and that sort of stuff. That's the way I work, at least.
So, in the minutes right before you go on stage, and I mean, I don't mean just tomorrow, I mean in general.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going through your mind in those few minutes right before you're about to just jump on there and do your thing? Stress. You've been doing this forever now. Stress.
Yeah,
you still get.
Yeah, every gig feels like doing an exam. I mean, I finished my law degree, so I know what the feeling is of doing an exam. So it feels like that. You're only as good as your last gig. That's a fact of the matter, And you want to. I mean, it's always this fight, this immense fight between my own ego and my own things that I want to play, and the artist and the sound that I want to bring across, and the sound that the people may expect for me to play. So it's always this battle. It's like the little the little two puppets standing. No, you should play this. No, I want to play this track. Yeah, but there's no room for it, and they want to hear this is what it feels like again. I'm like, you know. So it's about finding that balance, but it's also what makes it exciting, you know.
Well, this year's TomorrowWorld attendees are very lucky because your music will be the last beats they hear on the way out.
Yes.
I mean, you know, you're closing it, man.
I know.
So that's wonderful.
Pretty big thing.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely.
And I'll be watching.
For sure, man. Thank you. Cheers.